Wherever your treasure is, there also will your heart be. A teaching that Jesus has given to us. And that's the substance of the parables that we heard in tonight's gospel. They're about treasure. A man finds a treasure buried in a field. He's delighted. He sells all that he has in order to buy that field and make that treasure his own. A merchant is in search of fine pearls. He finds a precious pearl. He wants it so badly that he sells everything he has to buy that pearl, that treasure. There's a story that a lady tells about growing up as the only child in a wealthy family. Every summer, her mother and father would go away on an extensive vacation and leave her home under the care of a sitter. She says that when she was 11 years old, right before her mother and father were getting ready to leave, the sitter quit. So the mother quickly looked and interviewed and found a replacement sitter. And then the 11-year-old girl saw her mother before she left for her trip, wrapping up her jewelry, the special things in the house, the silverware. And she asked her mother what she was doing. She'd never seen her mom do that before. And her mother said, "Well, I really don't know this sitter. I don't know whether I can trust her with the family valuables." Imagine what the 11-year-old girl thought. You don't trust her with the family valuables, but you will put me in her care while you're gone. She wrote that she felt like the family silverware was more important to her mother than she was. Now, had she brought that to her mother's attention, no doubt her mother would have had a way of answering, but it probably would not have rung true. Because you and I pick that up very, very clearly in other people's lives. When they say one thing, but they act in a different way. Words are cheap. Our actions really count. We say that we are disciples of Jesus Christ, and that He is number one in our lives. Today's parables give us the chance to ask, do we really mean that? Are we talking a good game, or are we living our discipleship? Because Jesus is very clear. He says the kingdom of heaven is like treasure buried in a field, which a man discovers, goes and sells everything he has in order to buy that field and make the treasure his own. Is our life as a disciple of Jesus Christ the motivation for our living? Is it everything? Or is it just a part of our living? Going to Mass, saying our prayers, trying to love God and love our neighbor are not just activities for insurance for heaven. Discipleship is a way of life, and it takes an investment, a purposeful investment. Notice that that treasure in the field just wasn't handed to that fellow who discovered it. He had to go and sell everything that he had first in order to buy that field. Jesus wants an investment of our lives to be His disciples with everything that we are, that He is number one, and He is the one for whom we are living, and everything else follows from that. We don't earn the kingdom of heaven. It's a gift from God. But God still wants our cooperation, wants us to invest in this kingdom that he gives us as a gift through his Son. And what does he want from us? He wants our time, which is his gift to us. That we use our time for prayer. We use our time to become even better disciples of Jesus. He wants our talent. He wants us to use the gifts we've been given to help other people along the way. He wants our will. He wants our will, that I really, with your grace, Lord, want to live fully as your disciple and not just make up my own rules as I plod along through life. And he wants our treasure. He wants our treasure too. If we're investing, we have to support. I was looking, and I know this isn't very cheerful, but I was looking over my will this week. I like to periodically just make sure that I have everything in order when and if God calls me home. So I do that. One of the things that I wanted to pass on to you in terms of treasure, I want you to know that in my will, I am leaving some things for our St. Joseph Parish family. You are my family. So I want to take care of my family. And I'm leaving some things to other charities as well. I would encourage you as you look over your lives and your wills and your intentions. Does our parish family have any part in that? I mention that because it dawned on me as I was doing this for myself. It's been quite a while since we've received any bequest from somebody's will here in our parish. I just wonder, do people remember? We're a family. But to be a disciple of Jesus Christ, we want that treasure. There's a Spanish proverb that says, burial shrouds have no pockets, which is another way of saying we can't take it with us. We take nothing of our material assets to the other side, nothing. All that we take is our love for God and the good that we do for our neighbor. And God takes those and gives us everlasting joy. But in the meantime, those gospel parables ring true about the buried treasure, about the pearl. Both of those people sold everything they had to acquire that treasure. We have been given the treasure of the kingdom of heaven. Am I fully invested? Because God is only too ready to bless and to share. So I ask you today, as I ask myself, who or what is number one in my life? Is it the Lord Jesus Christ? Or is it the silverware? Because where our treasure is, that's where our hearts will be.